So my name is Lynn Bailey. I'm the Elections Director in Richmond County, Georgia. I was appointed to that position in 1993, and so this is my 25th year of service as Elections Director. So I came to work in the Board of Elections office for the first time ever in 1978. I was hired as a temporary elections worker. I knew absolutely nothing about elections, but we had a mutual friend who knew that she needed someone to work and I needed a job. And so it really was a match made in heaven from the very beginning. I worked on and off in the elections office during the next 10 years in different capacities, leaving from time to time to have babies, raise family and whatnot. And then in 1988, I was hired back as the assistant director, and then from there went on to be director beginning in 1993. So it has been quite the journey. I've grown up with city government. In my time as director, I have seen lots of changes, beginning with, and not the least of which, has been the consolidation of the two governments. That was a big change in many, many ways, for not just the mere consolidation of the governments, but the structure of the government and the way they were elected. And that continued to change over time, moving from an odd election year to an even election year, and different changes that have affected just that local government itself. But in addition to that, some of the bigger changes have certainly been the method by which we cast a ballot in the state of Georgia, the fact that we are now a uniform system, have a uniform system across the state, a huge advancement that went into place in 2002 when we changed to the voting system that we have now. It really brought a level of professionalism to elections across the state that we had not had before. So that was a really good move. And as we continue forward and look to what's on the horizon next for Georgia voters, we'll certainly plan to keep a uniform voting system in place so that we all have the same practices and procedures around the state, and at the same time provide voters with a type of voting system that makes voting easy and seamless. I think that's the goal, and that's what we hope to achieve. So the SAFE Commission was appointed by Secretary of State Brian Kemp to look at and evaluate different possibilities for a new voting system in Georgia. We know that the technology that we use now is outdated. Certainly the equipment is outdated. It is computer equipment that's nearly 20 years old, so it's time for a replacement. The Commission, and I am a member of the Commission, and the Commission is looking at different products that are available now. Some of those products are systems that use just pieces of paper to vote, just like one who votes through mail, and others are similar interface to what voters see now, a ballot marking device where they use a touchscreen to mark their ballot. Right now, the Commission is considering different vendors. Eventually, within the next 2 weeks or so, they'll come up with a report that they'll give to the General Assembly, where it will be contemplated and then eventually move forward for funding of some type.